Hello ladies and gentlemen and otherwise, what's up? My name is Divius and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Newfound Adventures. I'm having such a good time. We just finished the one and only dungeon of 6.1 and we are on our way to whatever is next. I'm told that's the only dungeon, so I'm not really expecting any more. I've also fiddled with graphics just a little bit. Hopefully it didn't tank the frames. And the sound appears to be on point. I'm sure you guys will let me know if it is not. Either way, if it isn't, I'll continue to adjust. Please feel free. Just let me know in the comments. I'm always trying to improve. So, before we get started, you guys know the drill. If you enjoy what's about to happen, like, comment, sub, etc. Discord link down below, Chaos Crew tag, blah, blah, blah. Let's get back to this because your boy wants some story, and we were having such a grand time. Away we go. Ooh. 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 Interesting.
What have we here?
Good question, Catboy.
'Tis not unlike a Hunnish alchemical furnace in design.
It does look very similar, if not identical, actually.
Well, there is one way we might find out.
Do it! Do it!
Stop! You mustn't touch it.
Vashan? What's up? Richard, what are you doing here?
Vritra! Oh, my apologies. Should I continue calling you Varshan?
You may address me as you wish. My nature is no longer a secret.
Fair point.
Still, this is not a setting I imagined for our union. Surely you've not entered these ruins as common looters.
No, we're actually going to be bringing most, if not all of this back to Retzithan, because money helps things.
Would that we could deny your accusations, but I fear you're not far from the truth.
Great Vritra, might we beseech thee to explain the nature of this strange contrivance?
It's a good question, actually.
It was crafted by our alchemists at my behest, for the purpose of sealing something away.
Can we kill it? Okay, alright, okay, I just want to ask what it is, but come on, I feel like we can't not do this. I wasn't gonna touch it, but you know, Stola. Oh God.
You and I will speak later.
Okay, that was beautiful. Oh no.
Not the time for frivolity, my friend. Not the time.
Really? Because I thought it lightened the mood quite a bit.
This something of which thou speakest, might it be some manner of threat?
Okay, I'm going to be real for just a second. What could possibly be locked in here that we can't take on? I know I'm going to eat those words at some point. I know it's coming. But at the same time, we have literally been to the edge of the universe, killed the culmination of all of the bad stuff in said universe, and then fought someone who is basically a void-roided monster who also has a propensity to turn into a dragon, and came home with all hands intact. What could possibly be there that is so huge that you don't want it coming out with us in the area? We can make that a non-problem very quickly. All I'm saying. I might need to crank the graphics back up because that looks kind of bad.
Perhaps I should simply show you.
Ooh. Ooh. I'm digging. Come on. Show me something new. Man's really just cracked it open. Ooh! You bought me a present? Is that the Void? This is to do with the Void, isn't it? And Ishtola is happy.
I have lifted the seal, if only for the moment, by an authority only I possess.
A planar fissure?
Oh.
My friend, small though it may be, this is a functioning gate into the void.
I was right! Yes! Oh, hell yeah! This is gonna be spicy. I see what they're going for now. I get it. This is how they're gonna raise the stakes again. Okay, all right. Raha, what you got? Void gates and fissures are much the same thing in practice, in the sense that both allow passage between the source and the 13th. The difference in terminology refers to the circumstances of their creation. A fissure is an incidental tear in the fabric between worlds, whereas a void gate is a product of deliberate action. I suspect this is the latter, judging by the elaborate mechanism put in place to control it. To think that our search for material riches would lead to this priceless discovery. I think that's a kind of Columbian definition of discovery there, my boy. Reacher was clearly familiar with this. The swirling emptiness. It puts me in mind of old friends, not to mention old foes. Yeah, it does. Oh, we get another cutscene right off? We now enter Elzadel's legacy. Yeah! Oh, never mind. Stola? Stola's appraising the Void Gate with a scholarly eye. Also known as... Ooh! Can I poke it? Let me just make sure... Yeah, we're good. Forgot to fill it with settings. Damn it.
I must admit, I am deathly curious to know how a void gate came to be hidden in the depths of these ruins.
Me too.
To tell that tale, we must first peer far to the south, and even further into memory. An age 5 millennia passed when the Algan Empire sent an invading force to the shores of Merasidia. The southern people rallied around the commanding figures of Bahamut and Tiamat and fought fiercely to repel the would-be conquerors. With Bahamut's defeat, however, the tide turned against them. Desperate to seize any advantage, the Mercidians resorted to summoning primal entities.
Yep, I remember that questline.
In response, Emperor Zande forged a covenant with the Cloud of Darkness, sovereign among the all-devouring denizens of the Void.
Man, we're coming full circle.
Thus bolstered by icons on one side and Void Scent on the other, the two armies clashed in a battle of unspeakable carnage. So much death, so much loss.
I consider myself well versed in that period of history, yet you speak as one who witnessed it happen.
I mean, I assume he did.
Indeed, I did. I heard Tiamat's roar of defiance and sped toward that war-torn land. along with my sibling, Ashdaya. We dragons are not male or female as men are wont to classify, but elder sister is the closest a mortal tongue can come to describing what she meant to me. I was the last of our brood to hatch, and Ashdaya cared for me where my sire could not. Thus I was with her when Tiamat roared. I was with her when she journeyed south, and I was with her when she fought against the Void-sent hordes. Yet no matter how many of their vile fiends we cast down, more rose from the abyss to take their place. Faced with an unwinnable war of attrition, Ashdaya risked her all on a final gamble.
Huh.
She plunged through the void gate itself to strike at the root of their strength.
Yeah, that sounds like some dragon operator shenanigans. Trying to cuss less.
I tried to follow in her wake, determined to lend what aid I could. But even as I came upon Alag's glittering tower, I saw the rift close behind her. And Ashdaya has been lost to us ever since.
Damn.
I find I must retract my earlier claim of historical knowledge. Nowhere in the Crystal Tower's archives did I see mention of such noble sacrifice.
That does not surprise me. To Allagan eyes, it must have seemed as if a lone dragon, driven to madness, simply dove through the gate and did not return. For my part, I spent long years searching for the means to reunite with Ashdaya.
Guessing that didn't go
Until I
well.
could search no more. Until Alag was dust, and the art to open a void gate large enough to accommodate a dragon forever lost.
Yet you have the beginnings of a gate right here, under the control of a harnessed device.
I'm assuming something went wrong there.
My discovery came before Radzat was founded. Though I scoured the lands for a method to cross the rift, it was beneath the sea that I chanced to find a natural planar fissure.
Makes sense.
It was, however, far too narrow to admit a worm's bulk. Only after our city rose upon the rock, and I could enlist the aid of our talented alchemists, did matters take a favorable turn. Their dedication was beyond reproach. Tirelessly they worked to expand the fissure, and after decades of toil, it finally grew to a size that a child might pass through.
That's why you have the flesh golem.
Not long ago, you told us that you called out to your kin, that Ashdaya's answer was silence. I suspect the conclusion to your tale is not a joyful one.
Yeah.
With hope in my heart, I used a simulacrum to cross the threshold. But no, I did not find her.
Oh, damn.
What I found was a host of void-sent, clamoring around the opening they had sensed. 'Twas but a moment, but enough. I had no choice but to retreat and allow the portal to contract once more.
The gate was a threat to your people. You had to decide between endangering Razathan and abandoning your sister. You chose the latter.
Yeah, that's not an easy choice.
'Twas not that thy sibling scorned thy call. 'Twas that she was trapped beyond a barrier through which neither roar nor dragon may pass. Even now, in the desolate world of the 13th.
I can scarce imagine your pain, yet it was wise not to linger in that place. Too long a sojourn, and even a being of your power risks being warped into a creature of the void. You've seen this phenomenon before, when we stepped into the darkness.
I don't want to be like that. Yeah, thought our time had come. Still surprised Nero came back
As
from
did
that.
I. Were it not for Une and Doga, or Nero for that matter, we might never have made it home.
Yeah, we did.
Do you remember what happened to Nero? How his wounds allowed the Void's corruption to enter his body and twist his ether? Had it been allowed to progress much longer, I presume he would have been fully transformed.
Very likely.
Then there is little hope for Ashdaya.
Ah, no. I hadn't meant to. I speak only of possibilities. The scales of the first brood are extraordinarily resistant to ethereal fluctuations. They are the protective talisman's core components after all, and even the corruption I described would struggle to overcome. Of course. With the warding scale in one's possession, one could conceivably survive a stay in the 13th without being warped by its energies.
How have we not thought of that before? I mean, it's fairly recent, but fair enough.
Be that as it may, it is too late to rescue my sister. 5,000 years too late.
Are you sure about that?
And now countless others look to me for guidance and protection.
Hey, you got 5 hunters right here, willing to take a look.
When I sensed intruders in the ruins, I came only to ensure that the gate remained closed. That, and to secure the treasure, of course.
Question on that. Why haven't you used that treasure to, you know, help your people? I assume that this could go to use very easily in improving the lives of everyone in Radzahan.
I wish only to forget the rest.
You know that's not gonna happen. Ishtola, don't. I saw the eyes of a cat ready to pounce and it made me a little nervous. Yay! That was depressing. Still doing okay. I turned my tower off, by the way, or set it to sleep because that fan was really screaming. I hope that wasn't too bothersome. Alright, so they managed, not... So they managed not only to expand the fissure, but also manipulate it as one might a gate. Astonishing. Is there any chance I could learn more of how this feat was accomplished? I will tell you what I can. First, however, I must return to the High Crucible and arrange to replace the Guardians you so handily destroyed. It will not do to leave the gate undefended. My apologies. We were perhaps a touch zealous in our rush to uncover the vault's secrets. If the constructs can be repaired, we would be happy to offer our assistance. That will not be necessary. Much as I retain spare vessels for myself, we keep duplicate Guardians on hand for such eventualities. In any case, we should return to Radzahan. Yeah, I don't know where they're gonna go with this. I am interested, but also a bit on the confuddled side. Fiddle with a couple of settings, let's see if that makes it look a little bit better, because things are looking real blocky. It's already a little better. Excuse me. I promise we will discuss the Void Gate further, but first I must attend to the matter of the Vault Sentinels. As your instruments have no doubt informed you, the Kapakulu, okay, have been reduced to so much scrap. Please bring a new one out of storage and see that it is conveyed to its post along with some few lesser constructs. Was it tomb robbers? Fiends born of the Tower of Zot? By the sisters, do not tell me a blasphemy yet roams free. No, it was kinda us. Sorry about that. Why such guilty faces? Surely it is not you who is responsible for this. Oh. Well, the details aren't important. I shall see it done immediately. Sorry. Ugh. Excuse me. And with that, the vaults will soon be secure once more. Now, I believe you had questions? Quite a few, in fact, but I'd like to begin with the gate itself. Is it still functional? It is still functional, yes? Indeed, which is why I saw it sealed with an alchemically forged lock and warded it with my magics. Such power must not fall into the wrong hands. In truth, the primary reason the vault's construction, for the vault's construction was to keep the gate hidden from the outside world. So much effort for so little a door. That little door you speak of leads to an abyss teeming with unspeakable horrors. That said, in its current state, it would admit only the lowliest of void sent, and from this side no man would be able to pass through. No man. I should think Alpha No were fit, given an firm enough push. Physical size is only one condition. The true restriction hinges upon the etheric density of the soul in transit. Well, I ain't going through anytime soon. Yet you succeed in expanding the diminutive portal and sending your simulacrum through to the 13th. Thanks to my brilliant alchemists, I should have destroyed the anomaly when I found it, but instead I bade them devise a means to control it. After much experimentation, they accomplished the impossible. A method was conceived by which my magics could manipulate the fissure and transform it into a serviceable gate. But the process has long since been forgotten. Once I had given up searching for Ajdaya, there was no need to preserve such esoteric and dangerous knowledge. Thus has the gate lain dormant for years uncounted. My own passage to the 13th was made relatively simple thanks to the Crystal Tower. An ancient mechanism channeled the tower's vast stores of energy to open a void gate, one bound to a covenant made with the Cloud of Darkness. Once that sovereign entity was beaten back, however, the covenant was broken and the doorway severed from its connection to the void. Theoretically, it should be possible to reconnect the gate by forging a new pact with another void sent, but such deals usually end in betrayal and death. I mean, I am a max level Reaper. It shouldn't be too hard, question mark? In any case, we should attempt to gain an understanding of the Bounty Gate. Mayhap you could resume the search for your sister. As I've already explained, I put those futile hopes to rest centuries ago. My place and my duty is here now. I had meant to ask, what prompted you to search for the vault in the first place? I can't throw him under the bus like that, because I came out here because of them reasons. To see if the legends were true. As you have seen, the fabulous wealth from the stories is quite real, if not its rumored origin. But I'm afraid I must assert a prior claim. That's fine. I've been adding to that throw for years, little by little, but the time has come to spend it, that I might alleviate my people's suffering. And we are of one mind. We had no intention of taking it for ourselves. Is that right, my friend? Yeah. We're pulling an Alamigo. Knew it was there from the start. Stola, what are you thinking? Your Excellency, would you object if I were to conduct a closer examination of the gate? I will make no attempt to open it, of course. I owe you and yours a debt that can never be repaid. Whatever boon you ask of me, you shall have it. You're most gracious. I shall take full advantage of your permission. Would that I could join thee in thy study, but the Loporates will be anxious to receive my report. I beg my leave of you. Lads are breaking up again. And I must be off to Charlene as well. Mistress Kyle... Mistress Kyle... Mistress Kyle was eager to speak with you about that request, so please come back to the annex as soon as you're able. Farewell for now. I believe that's the next step to a thing with the Alliance raids? I could be wrong. We can discuss my findings once I return. You'll not be rid of me so easily. I have no doubt. Oh, me and Uncle Estinian again. You may now undertake the Chronicles of New Era quest. Quest series Myths of the Realm. Speak of the fresh-faced student at the Baldessian Annex to accept the first quest. Oh wait, no, is that the new trials? Like for the 12? Or is that something else? I think that's something else. I'm gonna have to check that out later. A brother's grief. Oh no. Double check. Yeah, half an hour in already. Dang, time flies. The difficult part in all this will be deciding how best to put these riches to use. Will you lend me your assistance in these deliberations? Of course. We're not going to mention the constructs. Thank you, Luna. Luna and I are in this together. I will follow her example. My man! We're gonna reunite with the Void Scent that Xenos made a deal with to become a Reaper, aren't we? I feel like that's gonna be what's going on. We're gonna make a covenant with that Void Scent, and what in the heck is this? Interesting symbol. That looks very familiar. Well, hello. Yeah, you have a familiar walk. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm no expert, but this is not good looks. Why are your shoulders so large? I don't like that. Freaking maximum pauldron head ass. Dude looks like, what's his name? The big bad from the first Final Fantasy. Show his face, don't be a coward. Or his helmet, at least. Throne of Earth. I sense the breaching of a gate. It was not instigated from this side. It was thrown open from the other. Oh boy. Throne of Fire, I too felt it. A rare occurrence, yes, but such a tiny portal is beneath our notice. There are more pressing matters at hand. An opportunity is upon us, the coming of which we have awaited nigh on 10,000 years. We did not let it slip our grasp. Throne of Wind, yet we must not underestimate she who bested the cloud of darkness. Ayo! Even restrained by a covenant, the cloud was no feeble wisp to be dispersed by some flesh and blood mortal. Throne of Water? Yep. Bah, let her come. I will drown the world and watch this fleshling gasp for breath in her final moments. Yeah, about that. I literally cannot drown anymore. Why is your face glowing? Knight in black, your zeal is admirable, but forget not our cause. Think back on our struggles beneath the sunless sky. Remember why we see not our will to fight. I see. 'Tis time we set the war in motion and win redemption for our star. Yeah, baby, we're going to the void! Ugh! Oh, hell yes. I've wanted to go to the void for a while, man. Like, actually go to the void and do some stuff there. Also, fun little thing, 13 seems to kind of be my lucky number, even though it's, you know, very unlucky. But hey, who gives a crap? 13's usually good stuff for me. And, the 13th. Very edge, but feels like home. Let us continue. Roshan wishes to discuss the distribution of treasure. How far in are we? We are 30 minutes. Oh, 32 minutes. It was like 20-something earlier. It'll be alright. Shall we begin? If we are to spend the treasure wisely, then we must first determine which groups would benefit most from monetary assistance. Some of my citizens may find it intimidating to speak with the satrap directly, so I would ask that you act in my stead. That is a fair point. Luna, are you... you're to visit Akali and Yedlamad, speak with Matya and his people, and listen to the grievances. Estinian, I bid you do the same at Palaka's stand. I will be conducting my own inquiries at the Giant Skull grounds. Alright lads, let's split up and search for clues. Once you believe you have ascertained the needs of the populace, we can reconvene at Megaduta. Copy. Alright, let's get to work. Why, hello, Matya. I expect you were not... Yeah, okay, whatever. Oh, Luna, I'm so glad to see you return unharmed. You finished with the boat, then? Oh, yeah, by all means. Have it back. Get that thing back to fishing. Anything the village desperately needs? Well, I suppose Kalzal's loss hit us the hardest. I've been trying to find buyers for my fish, but although I sell a few here and there, it's so much more difficult than it was before. Everyone's still struggling to rebuild their lives. For now, we're just banding together as best we can. At least you're not going hungry. I know that sounds a little bit callous, but I mean... Like, dude, you have the single basic need that everyone kind of is required to observe. You have food. No? Oh, it's over here. I'm a genius. Excuse me, just driving my car up to you. Junkmonger, how are you? Greetings and welcome, traveler. If this is your first time in Tabner, then you must try my special Amrelasil. Amrelasi. Its refreshing zest cannot be beat. I know you. What could such a wonder cost, you wonder? Normally I would part with 3 bottles for the generous price of 19,800 gil. For you, I am willing to go as low as an even 10,000. You'd be practically stealing from me. I am not a Estinian. Estinian, who is... you're the one who was with that spear-toting fellow. Well, you can hardly blame a man for trying. The world may no longer be on fire, but we are still sifting through the ashes, so to speak. Since to spare me, we might as well have that ugly tower back for the scant few travelers we see now these days. I myself barely have the coin to buy at local prices. Tell you, if I didn't charge the odd adventurer a small fortune for afternoon tea, I'd be scavenging for scraps in the street. I can't really blame him. Like, on one hand, dick move. On the other hand, man's gotta eat. Guild staff, what's up, my guy? Lesai. Right there, buddy? How far's the port? Well, it's in shambles, isn't it? Trade routes are open once more now that the danger is past, certainly, but no small number of merchants have had to sell their ships to make ends meet in the short term. Add to that the sailors we lost in the final days, and it's little wonder the flow of experts is no more than a pitiful trickle. If Kalzal and his consortium were still with us, I'm sure we'd have found a way to turn our fortunes around. Now that was a man who got things done. God's rest his soul. Yeah. So if I can attempt to suss out what's going to happen here, we are kind of in the realm of trade needs to pick back up again, so I don't know, I guess funding a new merchant navy might help. Maybe not a navy, but you know, a new merchant group would certainly assist. I don't know how that's going to work, though, because Calzal was kind of the guy to go to for all of the trading stuff, and he's not here anymore. Ah, my advisor's return. I've just made it back myself. What do you retain this vessel now that your true form is known? You could have flown across the island in a fraction of the time. Be that as it may, the sight of a massive creature descending from the sky can be startling to say the least, and there are few places I can enter comfortably without risk of flattening some cart or stall. Fair point. Fair enough. As for my inquiries, the people of Palakistan were unanimous in their reply. They are surviving. Resources were stretched to the limit when refugees were pouring in, but they persevered with some assistance from Yedlamad. From what I understand, they have always been an independent community, hunters and foragers and the like. I was assured that the jungle provides for their needs, for the most part. Palakistan has weathered the disaster better than most, it seems. Yeah, independent people, it's usually how they work. I myself heard news good and bad. The quarrymen were cautiously optimistic, having sold a small wagon of giant skull to a foreign trader. But such visitors are few and far between. Compared to our best years, the weight of stone leaving Thavner has been light indeed. Our nation is small and isolated, its prosperity dependent on the steady stream of exports. We must identify any obstacles to the flow of trade so that we may begin working to remove them. Tell me, what did you learn in Akali and Yedlamad? Oh, trade stopped and people are barely scrounging by. I see. Without a dedicated buyer, the average fisherman must struggle to offload his daily catch. Which is why I believe we should first address the lack of ships and shortage of able-bodied sailors in Yedlamad. I would say, actually, we could go to the conglomerate in the Far East, like the Ruby Sea. I don't know what the logistics are going to look like there, but we could probably get those guys involved, and they would be very happy to facilitate a crap load of trade. They're also kind of experts at doing stuff on the ocean. I'm reminded of a child I spied as I made my way back to the palace. His father lost at sea when the beast sunk their vessel. So many variations of the same tragic tale I repeated over and over. So many lives lost. Yeah. Yeah. Enough grief to drown in if we let ourselves be overcome, but we will not. Luna Estinian, I will consider the perspectives you've brought to me, and devise a plan to help my people confront this adversity. Come, I'd like you to be in attendance when I announce the proposal to my assembled functionaries. No problem, man. Came here to work, so let's get to work. Sorry, Swift Alt-Tab, just check time. Alright, lads.
I thank you for your attendance.
My boy. Good to see you in the flesh, figuratively.
The riches the Radiant Host have retrieved were hoarded in Al-Zadal's name. A fortune I set aside for a future day of need. And lo, that day hath come. May it aid our wounded city in reclaiming its vibrancy and vigor.
Make it happen.
In better times, I would leave such a task to our capable Ahawan. God must have their operations restored, their ships rebuilt. Commerce must flow once more. None were spared the tragedy of the final days. Of this, I am well aware. But an absence was created by the loss of Karazal's consortium. And by filling it, we provide new means for our fishermen, our artisans, and others to bring their wares to distant markets.
Yep. If we can get the coin flowing, then everything else gets better. Radiant host always ready to throw down. Gotta
And
respect
what of the
lines.
children who were left without family to care for them?
That is a concern which weigheth heavily upon my mind. The simple gift of coin will soon be exhausted, leaving these young souls adrift on the fringes of our society. Nay, a proper solution is needed, one which doth guarantee their welfare for years to come.
Yeah. Yep.
Thou hast surely seen how other nations rise to meet this challenge, adventurer. What dost thou deem the wisest course?
Levy them on trade profits in exchange for your investment. That seems enough. Takes a village. Don't actually know what this is referencing, but we're about to find out.
Of course, we must all look out for one another. Let us put this idea into practice. A contract shall be written, requiring all who receive of Al-Zadal's treasure to commit a portion of their future earnings towards the running of an orphanage. Now, such an influential policy is deserving of a worthy name.
I agree completely. Could call it Ahiwan's legacy. Kalzal does deserve something at this. Something with Kalzal seems appropriate.
A fitting candidate. Kalzal should be remembered, not as the blasphemy which terrorized Thavne, but as a hard-working and generous man who brought much wealth to our shores.
A better way to honor a good merchant.
Do any among you object to this proposition? Many here lost loved ones to the beasts.
In that time of strife, any one of us could have broken. Any one of us may have been taken by despair. When I think of Kalzal, I feel no hatred. Only a stinging regret that we could not save him as well.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, men?
This bodes well for that boy. Narad, was it? Perhaps he can cut ties with that shady peddler.
Heh. Wouldn't it be hilarious if that shady peddler was in the room?
Let it be done. Henceforth, this initiative shall be known as the Kalzal Foundation.
I didn't expect the questline to have me building an orphanage and fixing infrastructure, but I'm all here for it.
Nabdeen, thou art to assemble a patrol and ensure that no child in this city liveth in squalor.
I gotta love how he didn't hesitate at all.
Clerks, see to the management of our funds and make haste. Our citizens must not suffer a day more than is necessary.
To the books!
Dragon and man, side by side in pursuit of a brighter morrow. I'm reminded of Ishgard.
Yeah. Me too. It's just nothing but heartwarming, except for that one scene of the Void. Well, two, technically. We're gonna get to this stuff eventually. Okay, we got 10 minutes left. Let's go! Veteran Radiant. Veteran Radiant wishes to share his gratitude. Thank you for putting forth Kalzal's name. Those whose life he enriched will take comfort in seeing his legacy honored. You will forgive me for not speaking sooner, but I bear a message from Arcana Stola. She asked that you meet her at the High Crucible at your earliest convenience. Understood. Thank you. Much appreciated, my man. Stola must have finished her duty at the Void Gate. Shall we hear what she has to say then? I will go with you. Just realized that dude's a Makote. At least I think he is. Got like, are those ears? Those aren't ears. I don't know. I already lost it. Anyway, I thought the satrap would be too busy setting up the foundation. My clerks have been the well-oiled cogs of this administration since before Ahiwan assumed office. They understand what needs to be done. This is how you run a country. You have it as flawless as possible all the way down. It's good to see. I'm curious to what conclusions your Archon has reached concerning the gate's unique construction. As you wish, allow me to lead the way, Your Excellency. Yeah, go for it. I'll follow along. That's not a Makote. I'm seeing that now. I was like, I saw the little horn-looking things that look kind of like ears. Yeah, no, you're way too tall to be a Makote. Just vibing for a second. Alright, Astola, what's up? What you got? Hit me with some facts.
Right, here we all are.
Ooh, you sound in the process of something.
You discovered something new.
I would expect no less.
I took a closer look at that device. I was able to determine how it keeps the Void Gate sealed, but not how it might instead be employed to expand the opening. For that, I would need to reference the technique developed by Vritra's alchemists, no records of which appear to have survived the intervening years.
We know this, so why have you sent for us? Have you learned aught of value or not?
Oh, she's getting there. Just give her a second.
Patience, good sir. One must introduce the subject before launching into specifics. From what we understand, travel between worlds is accomplished by passing through the nebulous rift which exists between them.
Kind of like the whatever, the phlogiston in D&D actually. Might be what it's inspired by.
Picture, if you will, the moment you were called to the first.
Yeah, when someone freaking missed.
You touched a focus of some kind to help the Exarch pinpoint your location. His summoning spell then channeled the energies of the Crystal Tower to begin your journey to his world. The magics tore a hole in the wall separating source and shard, and cast you into the intervening nothingness. In that place, the laws of nature hold no sway. Yet even through this realm of temporal and spatial instability, you were borne safely to your destination in the first.
Yes.
The feat that guided you across such an unimaginable distance, both physical and metaphorical, was nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah. Homie did have access to the Crystal Tower, though, and that is a crap load of raw energy.
Then what of the many voids sent found in the source? Who guides them here, and how?
Good question.
An excellent question.
Thank you for agreeing. Might it have something to do with the Reapers? Hard, maybe?
Though there are several methods by which the Void's denizens might intrude upon our world, the rituals of summoning are the most typical. For example, let us consider the Gargoyle, a creature of middling power. To call upon such an entity, the prospective summoner must force open a void gate. The portal lasts but a moment and is relatively small, allowing only an imp or other lesser being to squeeze through with their physical body intact. Our more powerful gargoyle, however, is too large for that. Creating a gate big enough for him would require vast amounts of energy, far beyond the reserves of any one mortal practitioner.
Okay. Where are we going with this?
Instead, 'tis far more common to bring over only the entity's soul. We had a taste of that ourselves when a certain exarch dragged us to the first.
Yeah.
And just as our bodies remained in our world, the Void Sense physical form is left behind in the 13th.
Okay, I'm tracking so far.
Once at its destination, the summoned soul is granted a temporary shell to inhabit. In the gargoyle's case, a stone effigy has proven a suitable vessel.
Following, but where does this tie in?
Wait. You said that Voidsent must be called here deliberately by someone in the source, reeled in like a fisherman with his catch.
Yeah?
Exactly. For a being to navigate the chaos of the rift, with or without form, there must needs be a guiding agent on the other side.
When the hordes poured forth from Alag's Great Gate, it was the technologists who drew them through.
Mm-hmm.
Though to my knowledge, planar fissures are in essence natural passages between our world and the void, which require no such guidance to traverse.
How do you span the rift of empty between that, though?
Why is only the boundary between the source and the 13th so fragile? So much so that it often tears open of its own accord.
I would assume it has something to do with how the void came to be the void in the first place. Unless there's something else going on.
I believe solving that mystery is key to understanding travel between the source and its reflections.
Yeah, that makes sense.
How do you intend to get your answers?
No. The danger is too great.
Perhaps. But what some call danger, others think of as adventure.
Let's get it. You're about to shoot me into the void, aren't you?
Listening to my tale. Never mind that the means to expand the gate has been lost to the ages. Even could you force the portal wide enough, you would be greeted by an army of murderous horrors the very instant you step through.
Yeah. I feel bad for them. I'll be surrounded. It means I can swing in all directions. And the second I step through, they're all in gunblade range.
I assure you I was most attentive. And I agree that to go alone would be certain death. But if I were to bring along one who has already braved the 13th and humbled the cloud of darkness, well, I imagine my chances would be much improved.
Hell yeah, sister. So much for taking it easy. Gotta be a little sarcastic.
For the quiet life?
Okay, you don't have to go straight for the throat like that. Let's get busy.
Once again, I put my life in your ever-reliable hands. That said, as much as I would like to march straight back to the Void Gate, there is the small matter of being unable to open it without the Satrap's personal authority.
Reach was just there
As
going.
I've said before, I will grant you and yours any boon you choose to name, provided it does not endanger my people.
Fair point.
You have my word that we will take every precaution. Not a single void scent will be allowed to threaten Radzatan, assuming we manage to expand the portal in the first place.
You have a plan.
It's a Stola. Of course she has a plan.
Actually, I had hoped you might help us with that. I presume the alchemists you retained supplied you with some explanation of their methodology.
That they did. House Daimir was overseeing the project.
Daimir. Ah, yes. The family associated with the great work.
I did not fully comprehend the theory, but their research began with a void scent which had slipped through the fissure. After a thorough examination, they created an arcane simulacrum possessed of similar qualities. A man-made void scent, if you will. It was apparently indispensable in their efforts to enlarge the gate.
That is important information.
A man-made void scent.
You think that would have come up a little bit sooner?
Yes. Being great admirers of the Archons, House Daimir submitted detailed notes to Charlene's official committee. They expected praise and accolades for their simulacrum, and were thus devastated to be informed that their work had been classified as prohibited material.
Sounds
If
about
that's
right.
true, then those notes might still be stored in a forbidden archive somewhere. Not Google, of course, since that library had yet to be built. Which leaves us with...
Ooh. With Graha's favorite place to sneak around. Yeah. Oh, he'll be so thrilled.
Indeed. Numenon's restricted stacks may very well hold a copy.
Outstanding.
In which case, I say we head directly to Charlene.
Unless you anticipate needing help to reach the high shelves. I see myself being of little use. Go on ahead. I still need to find Mirad and tell him about the Kalzal Foundation.
Aww. Murad's being adopted. Do not resist.
Let us be on our way as well.
They are resolved to venture into the void. Do I sit idly by?
You're welcome to come if you want. You're not required. Look, dude, we do stuff because we just do stuff sometimes, okay? There's no explanation to it whatso freaking ever. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and otherwise, that is going to be it for today. I'm over my hour, as usual. Excuse me. But yeah, this is picking up. I'm so happy that we're going to the Void. I've been interested in that basically since the Crystal Tower raid, since I kind of heard of it. And a person running by in what appears to be a swimsuit with Enkidu. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, still gotta get to the Hildebrand quest too. That's on the list for this week. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Hope the audio's right. If you did enjoy, drop me a like and a comment down below. If you would like to see more, kick that subscribe button, roundhouse bell next to it, so YouTube Senpai remembers to tell the almighty algorithm Chan that I exist whenever I upload. And if you would like to jump in with us personally, there is a Discord link down below. Hop in, ask for the Chaos Crew tag, and you'll be pinged when I'm up to shenanigans. That being said, y'all have a wonderful day. I will see y'all next round.